Lush did a really good thing by, I wouldn't say, the title says trying, but I think he did a good job in terms of explaining his position and why he felt a little bit annoyed. I told you already in the last episode that ADAM22 essentially cancelled the Thursday show, right? Moved things around, changed the name, whatever he did. He just, essentially he did give these guys a heads up on the Thursday show, and Lush took it over offense. Obviously, a lot of these guys, they make, a lot of their income comes from No Jumper, so losing the ability to do their show, it's going to maybe impact, their monthly, their ability to cover their monthly nut pause, and Lush was not too happy about it. But the reason why I think Lush was probably not the happiest in general was just the lack of, heads up from ADAM22. But something I've always kind of been surprised about is the consistent levels, is the consistent surprise at the way that ADAM22 manages his company, manages his channel. He's always been a bit of a shitty boss. The other guy, Josh, doesn't really help that much either. He's not really great either when it comes to being a boss or a leader. ADAM22's always been like that. He's never really been somebody that would, just do a normal thing like, I don't know, give the cast members of the Thursday show a heads up and let them know that, hey, I'm thinking about changing things. You guys have a week or a couple of days to get the numbers back where I need them to be, or I'm going to permanently move things, or just basically say I'm going to change it. Here's a heads up. Here's why I'm doing it. He doesn't do that. He just does it out of the blue. These guys find out how they find out. They get annoyed by it, and then Adam tries to act as if like he doesn't understand why people are making it a big deal. It's like, they're only making it a big deal because you didn't tell them ahead of time. Is it really that hard to just not tell your co-host who helped to fucking, allow you to make the money you make from the videos and the views and stuff? Isn't it just easy just to be like, hey, here's what's happening, here's a heads up? Don't know why he doesn't do that. Anyway, big up Lush for pressing ADAM22. This was very, very needed.
All right, let's switch it up right here. I want to bring up a topic. Let's talk about some insular no jumper for a moment. Lush one.
Oh yeah, what's happening?
I understand that you were a little bit upset about the Thursday version of the No Jumper show being turned into the news. So speak on that before I clarify.
Nah, I wasn't upset. It was first of all, it was more so I'm writing for my people because I'm getting a lot of text messages. Like I'm finding out from all the people.
I'm getting a lot of text. That sounds like fucking AD, innit? Big up AD. That sounds like a classic AD line. I'm getting a lot of calls. I get a lot of text messages.
That are on the show, they're not happy about it.
Hey, hold on. No. Don't act like you're speaking for them, because I watched that episode, bro. You seem like you was upset. You.
Check game.
And then you have rebuttals to why, you had reasons to why you was upset.
No, I just think that ultimately at the end of the day, it's just kind of like.
Now you like, I don't give a
No. Listen. Like, ultimately, we partners. Out of my partner, you at least tell me, bro. Like, oh, this shit not working. You could, like, we partners. We talk every day.
Is he your partner though? Really? Don't you remember the way he got fired? I'm surprised that he thinks him and I think a lot of these guys. Do we? Is it? And I'm saying I'd love to see the messages of how they talk. Do they talk every day, or does Lush talk to Adam every day? I'd love to know that. I'd love to see. I'd love to get specific with that little thing he said there, because I think for whatever reason, Adam just has something. Maybe it's a charisma, maybe it's money, maybe it's status, maybe it's fame, whatever. Maybe it's all the above. But Adam ADAM22 has a record of treating people like shit and not really valuing people's friendship or whatever it may be, and yet he's surprised that he got left. I just don't get it. Like, what do you expect with who you're dealing with?
How the you're not gonna say something to me like, yo, this show that you have is changing, like, and people want to talk about
the only thing that's changing is the thumbnail, realistically.
There's other elements to it.
You feel he backdoored you?
No, I don't feel he
I
backdoored
should
me.
have communicated more, because instead I had Josh's weird ass explaining it to you, which maybe is not going to necessarily make.
That's funny, isn't it? Isn't just like his former fucking brother-in-law, by the way. Yeah, because I think his sister divorced with him. That's hilarious to say about Josh. Josh and his weird ass is hilarious.
Get as cushioned as, because I did an interview with Danny from the Stub yesterday. He interviewed me for his new platform he's starting, and I explained
Shout out to Danny.
So let me just break it down.
That's an interesting announcement, by the way. I didn't know about that. Danny from the Stop has started. What is it? Another channel? big up Danny and stuff. He does a lot of really great Joe Budden clips and shit, Joe Budden podcast clips and whatever else it may be. So I wonder what's going on. Is he starting a new channel, Danny and stuff? Is he starting a new network? I don't know. I'm curious to find out. Let's continue.
At that time, we had the Tuesday show, and it was Adam, Lush, and Brick. Flacco said, yo, Adam, I know you're busy, but let's do a Thursday show, and it'll be me instead of you, and then Brick and Lush. So Flacco, Brick, Lush. And I was like, you know what? That is kind of a cool idea. Maybe that would be a cool extension of the Tuesday show. Keep Brick and Lush, put Flacco in my place. Let's see how it goes. Fast forward. Brick's been incarcerated for almost a year. Flacco moved off and is on his weight loss journey that seemingly may never end.
Never will.
And Lush is still around. So ultimately, people end up getting plugged in. We got the TF Third experiment. We got the Tam Burger experiment. We got who else? Suspect ends up getting thrown in the mix, etc. And I like that. I think we do have a solid cast for Thursdays. I do think we should keep it going. But ultimately, it just ended up not really feeling like an extension of the Tuesday show to me. It ended up feeling like a separate thing. Okay. And I felt like, especially given the time slot, given that it's taking place on Thursdays at the same exact time that the news typically takes place, it just felt like the more logical framing was to just call it the news, because we do have kind of consistent crews. Like Munchie on Monday, he's typically on there on the news. A few other people that have kind of like designated days, Ralphie and them on Fridays. So I didn't really think it was going to be that controversial.
Why didn't you just tell this? Like, why didn't you just explain this to people beforehand? Why couldn't you put this in why couldn't you just get fucking ChatGPT to write you a fucking one sheet, a little statement, and just post it to the group or whatever you got going on in terms of your communication? Why couldn't you just told people this? This is a fairly, again, you could not agree with the specifics, but this is a fairly fair assessment. This is a fairly fair sort of like, opinion to come from or to come to in terms of why he made the decision to get rid of the Thursday show. This rationale makes sense. Why couldn't you just tell them ahead of time? why did they have to find out? I'm assuming in other ways that probably hurt their feelings way more. It made them feel like they were getting discarded and dumped. I mean, whatever. It's like, come on, bro. It's really not that difficult. It really isn't that difficult to just give somebody a heads up and let them know what'll go on with whatever situation's going on. But this ADAM22 guy's a little bit mad, isn't it? He's a little bit fucking mad. He's a little bit fucking mad. Big up Lush for pressing him. I'd like to see that. Big up Lush for standing up for himself. I'd like to hear that.
So I was a little surprised.
You don't want to tell me because if you did tell me, I would have fought back.
You was putting on a show, bro, for them, bro. Like trying to be.
I don't think he was. I don't think ADAM22 didn't tell Lush because he was afraid he'll fight back and it'll make him change his mind. I think ADAM22 generally doesn't really think twice about these people and their feelings, co-host people. He thinks everyone in that channel is replaceable with somebody else. He's kind of have a track record of doing so, to be fair, in terms of keeping or switching the co-host so often, but then keeping the shows going as well still. So I'm pretty sure ADAM22 just doesn't really care too much about the co-hosts, really. He thinks they're replaceable. He doesn't think they're owed an explanation with the way he runs his channel and business and stuff, but I don't know, man. Just common decency, innit? I don't know. Just a bit of common decency would be nice, Just a bit of common decency would be nice. Like, hey, guy, before you get on, X, Y, and Z, or before I have this, X. Let me say, come on, man. It isn't that deep. But hey, I guess it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. Let's continue.
A union rapper.
He wanted to get his little victim.
Because I'm checking him out, and then I'm hearing his pushback on it going from a show to the news. But then when he asked right now, he said, I was riding for my. I don't give a fuck.
Because that's what it was. Because you think that should affect me like that? Like I'm still.
You all Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so it don't affect you.
Exactly, brother. Mm-hmm. So check game. That's why it's like, and beyond that, we could have had a conversation like you say, this is a show that Flacco started, whoopie wop. Yeah, that's all real, and everything you said might be true. But all I know is, with very little direction, I've been curating that showing up every week. I ain't missed a single episode in 2 years, player.
To be fair, that's quite impressive, considering how many drugs he's usually on. Considering how turned he gets, how lit he gets, how tilted he gets, how cracked out he gets, how cogged up he gets. it's actually quite impressive that he hasn't, according to himself, he hasn't missed a show in 2 years. Whatever show he's meant to be on, he turns up. Whether or not he's conscious is another situation. It's another, thing to kind of bring up. Whether or not he's conscious or coherent when he's at these shows or at these parties, he's still there. He's still fucking there. What an absolute legend. Oh.
I ain't missed a single. I ain't gone on vacation. I ain't gone to Turks and Caicos. You feel me?
You got the money to go?
That's a shot at me.
Yeah, that's a shot at you. You feel me? I ain't gone nowhere. I've been in L.A.
I only went there once. I went there for a week.
I ain't been to Miami. I ain't been nowhere. I ain't been to Arizona, player. I've been in MacArthur Park.
Man, I'm gonna take you on a trip. You keep talking like that. I'm gonna take you on a little vacay.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna split that ass open.
Yes, Diddy.
Sorry, Jerm.
With that being said, like my point is
Diddy activities.
I Lush, but it sound like
no. I sound stupid to y'all or something.
nah, radio, bro. You taking shit too personal.
Yeah, relax.
Hey, no,
What the fuck was that face?
Y'all or something.
nah, radio.
Lush is really good. He's a really good chameleon, isn't it? Lush is a really good chameleon. He has the ability to kind of like embody other people's personality and mannerisms and shit. Because what the fuck is all this stuff behind the microphone? What's this all that mean? What's this all this mean mugging? What the fuck is this? Even though he sits, he has a real ability to kind of just absorb what your mannerisms. I'm sure whoever Hispanic person he speaks around or sits around does the same sort of thing. He's moving in a certain way. It's like, brother, just be yourself, man. Be yourself.
You taking shit too personal.
Nah, hell nah.
Hey, no, but it just got the news vibe, so they just changing the title from show to news. That's the only difference,
Okay,
right?
I feel like there's kind of two formats on No Jumper right now. It's the No Jumper show is like Adam plus hosts, and then the news is no Adam, just hosts. So the Thursday show, even in the first place with me not being on it, it did feel kind of weird. Like I feel like if we do like a Monday show, it's probably going to be the No Jumper show, just because it'll be me and like a different cast or.
Unpopular opinion, but I think ADAM22 is the worst thing about No Jumper. I think he might be the worst part of No Jumper. I think ADAM22 might be the worst part of No Jumper. I think if they had more shows where he wasn't involved or he wasn't front and center, where he's talking about corn and hookups with his wife and shit that no one cares about and having terrible takes on hip hop and just generally being very unlikable, I think the channel will be far better. I think he kind of he's a negative to the channel. I think personally, he's a negative. I'm not gonna lie, I think he's a negative. I don't really care what he has to say, what he thinks about certain topics, it's whatever. Maybe the artist that he kind of covers and shit based on her show and her interest was probably into that, but I don't think I really give a fuck about, in that respect. I don't really feel like that. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Cool, big up No Jumper clips.